Sorry, I'm going to admit people as they're coming in, so I might get interrupted here and there. So self-care is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. Stress reduction in general is my favorite. So my name is Becca Duskin. I am a registered nurse, have spent most of my career in pediatric emergency, and have seen so much chronic disease in kids that it just has made me sad. And so I've become a certified health coach and love teaching people how to live healthy, holistically and naturally, and kind of help fight disease and illness that way. I actually specialize in gut health and getting the gut back into a healthy status so that you can live awesome, happy, healthy, energetic lives well into old age and be able to enjoy family and kids and all that kind of stuff. So that is a little bit about me. So we will start talking tonight about what stress kind of does in your body. Stress causes 90% of illness and disease. That is huge. It causes way more than a food definitely interacts with your body too and causes disease and illness, but stress just accentuates that to the millionth degree. If you're stressed, you can't assimilate the nutrients that you're eating. So if you're eating a salad, there's something really healthy. If you're really stressed, you're not going to be able to do anything with that salad. You're not going to get those nutrients in your body the way you want them to. So you can't do anything without having a kind of being able to decrease that stress in your life. What stress does is it increases your insulin load. And so you aren't able to get the sugars out of your system enough. And that causes inflammation all over your body. And inflammation is what causes disease. So that's kind of one piece of how stress works on that. It's also when we're stressed, we have really unhealthy coping strategies. We tend to eat bad things. We tend to eat super sugary, bad carbohydrates, things like donuts. I know that when I get really stressed, I'm not reaching for a bunch of kale. I am reaching for something that's sweet and comforting, like mashed potatoes, which aren't always necessarily unhealthy, or macaroni and cheese, or a donut, or sugar, sweet things. And so that is one of the unhealthy coping mechanisms when you're stressed, which doesn't cause great things for your health and your body. People tend to reach for alcohol a lot more. And while small bits of alcohol here and there aren't going to be detrimental to your health, large amounts when you're trying to cope with stress is going to be detrimental. When you're stressed, you're not going to take a sip of red wine. You're going to down a fifth of tequila, most likely, if that is your coping mechanism with stress, is alcohol. We also don't sleep as well when we're stressed. And so when you don't sleep, your body can't heal. Your body only heals during sleep. And so if you're not sleeping well and sleeping correctly and getting the right hours of sleep in the right state of sleep, then your body can't heal the damage that's been done by stress and poor diet and lifestyle. So sleep is super important. And then when we're stressed, our body goes into the fight or flight response. So it's part of our parasympathetic nervous system. You're either in fight or you're in flight. So you're either stressed or you're not stressed. And when you're stressed, your body is in a chronic state of fight. And when you're in a chronic state of fight, your body is stressed. You can't relax, and it's cumulative. So if you have a little bit of stress this day, you have a little bit of stress this day, you have a little bit of stress the next day, it all adds up into a chronic level of increased stress. So a lot of people think, I don't lead a stressful life. I'm pretty happy and relaxed. And that might be, you might not have any big, huge, obvious stressors in your life, but a little bit each day is going to add up to just as much as a big, huge stressor all at once. So there you go. And it inhibits your digestion. So you're not going to digest things as well when you're stressed. The inflammation in your digestive tract and your gut can't do what it needs to the food, can't do what it needs to in your digestion. And that causes problems in your digestive tract, which then is just a vicious cycle of not being able to get into your body what you need. When you don't have what you need in your body, your gut's not going to be healthy, and it just goes on and on. So again, I hope that has stressed enough how important it is to reduce stress in your life. And the biggest piece, I think, of reducing stress is self-care. It is not selfish. We have to take care of ourselves first. You can't pour from an empty cup. So if your cup of what fills you up is not full, you can't give to others the way that you want to give to others. If you're a mom, you can't be the best mom to others if you haven't taken care of yourself. You can't be the best partner to your partner in your life. You're not going to be the best employee at a job, a friend. You're not going to get out of life what you really want out of life if you haven't taken the time to fill up your cup and to have amazing self-care. And it's not selfish at all. It's really taking care of yourself, which is important. And obviously this last year we've had with the pandemic, self-care has taken a backseat to everything else that we have to worry about. That people are getting sick. You have family members that are sick that you can't see. That increases stress. You have possibly kids at home doing school. You're possibly working from home. You might have a partner working from home with you. All of these things have kind of pushed self-care to the back burner a little bit. And so it's, I think, more important than ever that we slow down, take a breath, and really focus on ourselves again, and try to make sure that we are mentally and physically healthy so that we can do everything we want to in life and keep ourselves healthy, which is good when we are in the midst of things like this pandemic. So what is self-care? Self-care is anything you do that fills you up. And one person's self-care is going to be different than another person's self-care. I'm just going to pick on people and take names over here as I see them because I don't know anybody. So let's see. Linda's self-care is going to be different than Carol's self-care. Linda might like crocheting, and that might relax her and build her up. Carol might enjoy a run in the woods, and that might build her up and relax her. So self-care is going to look different for everybody, kind of. So you do what builds you up. You really take some time to sit down quietly, grab a cup of tea, and write down a list of things that excite you, things that bring you joy, things that relax you. Reading a book, getting outside in nature, exercising, calling a friend, having a cup of coffee. Just write down, take 5 minutes and just let it spill onto a piece of paper, all the things that fill you up, bring you joy, and make you feel amazing. And that's going to be a starting point for how to develop your own personal self-care routine, which is vital. So there are some basics to what self-care kind of should entail, and what I think how you're going to get the best out of self-care during the day. So I think that something that I teach extensively with my clients is a morning routine. We're not sleeping well at night, and we wake up in the morning and immediately we are go, go, go. We have hit the snooze button on the alarm 10 times. And each time you hit snooze, you kind of fall back asleep a little bit, and your neurons in your brain, they function a little bit less each time you hit that snooze button. Each time you go back to sleep, you're functioning at a little bit less of an optimal level that morning. And then if you have kids or even animals or partners, you're getting up and you're immediately going to work with your day. You're doing the things that you need to do, and you're going full speed ahead right off the bat. So what a morning routine does is it gives you a chance to wake up in the morning. Ideally, the first time your alarm goes off, or maybe one snooze button, get out of bed and you're going to do something that you're excited to do. A morning routine can be a million different things. Get to a page here. So some things that you can add into your morning routine. And before I get into that time frame. So it's great to start like tomorrow morning, set your alarm for 5 minutes before you would normally get up, and take that 5 minutes to do part of a morning routine. The next day, set it for 5 minutes earlier. And eventually, if you do that long enough, you will be able to your body will naturally start to wake up early enough to get in what builds you up in the morning. And again, like what you do with your morning routine is different for everybody. The time frame you do it in is different. For some people, really 15 minutes is all they can do in the morning. They already get up really early. And so maybe 15 minutes earlier is their extent. For some people, they can maybe do half an hour to an hour. So you just have to kind of find what works best for you and your schedule. So you wake up in the morning, and the first thing you want to do is nourish your mind. Hydrate your body first with some water. You want to get that hydration in first thing in the morning, and then nourish your mind. And However you do that is up to you. Some ideas are sit down and do a quick, even just 5-minute meditation. And that can look as simple as sitting there in a comfy spot with your eyes closed and just breathing. And whatever your mind chooses to think about is fine. You don't have to quiet your mind and make it empty. That's kind of an effort that nobody is ever going to meet with meditation. So just sit there quietly without any outside distractions. You can do if you pray, you can take that 5 minutes to pray, to do prayer meditations. Spend that 5 minutes saying the prayers that you want to say. And you can do that to anything, that any higher power you believe in. You can take that 5 minutes to sit in prayer meditatively. You can do breath work. So take that 5 minutes to just sit there and do some good deep breathing. Anything you want to do for that 5 minutes where you're just sitting there and your mind is totally focused on the here and now. Nourish your body. That's something you can do in the morning. And that can mean anything from a little bit of yoga in the morning, some stretching. We've all laid in bed all night. Our body has been contorted in different positions to try and get comfortable. Maybe you were laying on your arm funny and that can be sore. And so getting up and just stretching all the muscles in your body after a night's sleep can be super helpful and a great way to kind of relax and de-stress your body. You can go for a quick walk in the morning. Getting outside and getting the fresh air and that vitamin D from the sun is an amazing way to get some good nourishment into your body. It's refreshing. It energizes you. You're out in the cool air, usually in the morning, and nourishing your body that way. Or you can do a quick workout, get down and do 10 sit-ups and 10 push-ups a couple times to try and get your blood pumping a little bit. So those are some different ways that you can nourish your body with your morning routine. So then you would take 5 minutes to do kind of a meditation or something, and then take 5 to 10 minutes to nourish your body and get something like that in. And then nourishing your soul. So one of the most important things that has the biggest benefit when we're talking about self-care is gratitude. The research out there on what gratitude does in your brain, what it does in your body it's jaw-dropping, quite honestly, with something as simple as deciding what you're grateful for. And it can be as simple as sitting there, and even as you've sat there quietly for 5 minutes, you just sit there and in your head, if you want to write it down, that's even better, but in your head, just decide 3 things that you're grateful for that day. And then you can do it again at night. And we'll talk a little bit about evening routine here in a second, but just 3 simple things. And you'll notice that, especially if you try and alternate those 3 things and it's not always the coffee, it's not always that you're woke up alive, it's not always you're grateful for your children, but try to make it a little bit different every day. And you'll notice that as you're going through your day, you are naturally then drawn to picking out the things that you're going to be grateful for in your next gratitude practice. And if your brain is constantly thinking about what you're grateful for, it can't be as stressed. You can't be thinking about all the things that are horrible in life, how you don't feel good, your aches, your pains, all the other stressors you have going on can kind of get pushed out by the fact that you're focusing on what is good in life. So that's a way to do gratitude in the morning. And something as simple as just something as simple as just 3 little things you're grateful for. You can do a gratitude journal. So instead of just saying it in your mind, have a journal and just list it out. And it's great if it's an ongoing list, because then you can see what you kind of are grateful for a lot and try to alternate that and change things up a bit. You'd be surprised at all the things you actually have in life to be grateful for when you start doing that. Or gratitude art. You can Google online if you're super artistic and enjoy that, and that is an outlet that builds you up and is part of your list that you developed of things that bring you joy, then draw out the things you're grateful for. Or as you're thinking about what you're grateful for, you're drawing something that speaks to you. You can be drawing a picture of mountains while you're sitting there thinking of the 3 things that you're grateful for. All amazing, wonderful stress relievers. And then nourish your spirit. Our spirit and our spirituality, in whatever way that looks for you, is vital to our self-care, our mental health. Being connected to something else is super important. So whatever that is for you, if you choose to do if you're Christian and you choose to do Christian devotions, that's a great time for it. If you are Buddhist and you choose to look up some Buddhist and have some Buddhist devotions, that's great. If you don't believe in any type of deity, I guess is a good word, then just spend that time devoting it to being thankful for Mother Nature or whatever that is. Whatever that spirituality looks like in your life, take some time to nourish that. Or you can read to learn. So I think a lot of us tend to read to relax, and reading to learn first thing in the morning can be great. Your first thing in the morning, you're stimulating your brain. And if you read, say you have a book you want to read and you say you're going to read 3 pages of it every day, then in a few months, even in a few months, if it takes you that long, you're going to have learned something new. And then you start a new book, and it decreases your stress to be learning something that fills you up. Don't be learning about auto mechanics if that's not what drives you. You want to read and learn about something that you enjoy and that makes you excited to learn about it. Auto mechanics is not what I would read about. And then also reading to relax. So if that is really what drives you, and if you enjoy reading about reading those romance novels or those books just for fun as mind candy, then that is something super important too. Especially if you have a really high stress job, then maybe that reading to relax is going to build you up more than reading to learn something. So again, it's all what builds you up and what drives you and brings you joy. So that's kind of a morning routine. And again, that can take anywhere from, 15 minutes to an hour. I get up in the morning and I take probably about 45 minutes, and I get up and have some water and meditate, do some stretches, get some exercise in, do some gratitude, and just really make sure that I'm starting my day slowly. And then when my kids get up, I'm ready to serve them. I'm ready to do what they need, and they get all of me at that point. And all of me that is relaxed and has already taken the time in the morning to focus on me. And they get a better version of me. So then we can go into our evening routine. A lot of us also tend to go until 10 o'clock and we hit the bed and we try to sleep. And we don't give our body the time to kind of slowly get into that sleep mode. Your body is not made to fall asleep like that. So if you are having trouble and you're tossing and turning at night, then that could be a sign that you really need to instill an evening routine in your self-care, the parts of your self-care for the day. And that can mean anything from an hour before you're ready to go to bed, turning off electronics, pick up a book and read it, do some meditation, some breath work, turn off electronics. All of the unnatural light we have in our world has played with our circadian rhythms and our circadian clocks. So turning off all light and just being can be super helpful. Things like blue light glasses, so that if you are watching TV or something and that's part of what relaxes you, then the light from those electronics isn't messing with your brain waves. And then you are able to get a good quality night's sleep. And then essential oils, those can be great. You can spray them on your pillows. You can diffuse them into the air. Things like lavender. A good combination is lavender and wild orange. And I know orange seems like it would be stimulating, but paired with lavender, it's super, super, it's a super great healthy sleep essential oil combination. So that is evening routine. And again, whatever builds you, whatever relaxes you and makes you ready for sleep. And then you get a better night's sleep. And then you wake up and you're less stressed in the morning. And then you do your morning routine and you're already less stressed after that. And just imagine the possibilities. So the next piece of self-care is breathing. We tend to live our lives kind of breathing shallowly and not getting in the oxygen that we need. And as I was talking about earlier with the parasympathetic system, your body can only be in fight or flight. You cannot be in both. So you can't be stressed and relaxed at the same time. You're either or. And a way to immediately trick your body and your brain into thinking you're relaxed is to do some deep breathing. And it can be something that I do. You breathe in, inhale for a count of 4. In fact, let's just go ahead and all do it together really quick. So close your eyes and take a big inhale in for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is it slows your body down immediately. It slows your mind down immediately and puts you into a state of relaxation immediately. It tricks your body. So you can do that in the morning as you're meditating or before you're meditating. You can do that at night before you fall asleep to relax your body. I do it at lunchtime. I teach my clients to do it at lunchtime because if you're in a stressed state, you're not going to assimilate the nutrients out of your lunch. So take a minute before you eat your lunch to do some deep breathing. It puts you into a relaxed state and your body can absorb the nutrients in your food. And then anytime during the day that you are feeling stressed or like, okay, I just need to take a second, just close your eyes and even just 3 rounds of that breath. And you can do it without anybody even really noticing that you're doing it. If you're doing it at work, will immediately put you into a state of relaxation. And then movement. Moving our bodies decreases stress. Moving your body, and I prefer the word movement over exercise. When I think of the word exercise, I think of the big bodybuilders at the gym that go there for hours on end, lifting big, huge, ridiculous weights. And that is also a stress on your body. Just moving your body for half an hour a day can decrease the stress in your life and is a great piece of self-care. And moving your body means moving your body. It's as simple as that. Are you a gardener? Go out and garden for 30 minutes. Do you like to walk? Walk for 30 minutes. Do you have kids? Go out in the yard and kick around a soccer ball with them for 30 minutes. Whatever you want to do that excites you and is going to get you out there and moving, just do it for 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be this crazy, amazing exercise program. You can get online and find some, relaxing yoga programs for 30 minutes. So 30 minutes of movement a day in whatever excites you and gets you out there. The more excited you are about it and the more you enjoy doing it, the more likely it is that you're going to do it every day and make it part of your self-care routine, which consistency is key with decreasing that stress in our lives. And then joy. When you live from a place of joy, you are naturally more relaxed and less stressed. And I think that a great way to bring more joy into your life is to, first thing in the morning, have some sticky notes, and you can do it next to the coffee pot, next to your sink in your bathroom, somewhere where you're going to see it, a set of sticky notes. And just every morning, take the top sticky note and write down one thing that's going to bring you joy that day. Anything you can think of, and stick that sticky note somewhere where you're going to see it during the day. And when you've done that brings you joy, take the sticky note down. There's your joy activity for the day. And it does not have to be crazy. I mean, it definitely can be crazy if you want it to be something big that's going to bring you joy, but it can be something as simple as picking some fresh flowers from your garden. That's going to bring you joy. Calling a friend, that's going to bring you joy. Then you get to spend your day focusing on that. If your brain is constantly thinking about the thing that's going to bring you joy, your brain is going to de-stress and you're going to be not able to focus on the negativity as much. You're going to be focusing on the joy. It's kind of along the same lines as gratitude. So those are my lovely self-care essentials for the evening. I would love to open it up and see if anybody has any questions, comments, anything like that. I do, and I will put it under this. I do have a little ebook, free self-care essentials, and it kind of goes over a little bit of what I talk about. It goes over a calendar and a tracker that you can mark things off if you enjoy that. So I'll put the link to download that underneath the class on here. But if anybody has questions, please feel free to just unmute yourself and chime in.
Well, I was interested, you mentioned about inflammation, and I have a lot of that going on in my body.
Yeah.
And so is that related to gut health? Or
it is, yes, most definitely. So when your gut is not healthy, you let toxins into your system very easily. So it's kind of like, actually I heard it described really good the other day. I always use my hands to describe it, but like a screen door. So your gut is like a screen door, and the little holes let the good stuff in. But if there's holes in the screen door and rips, then all the bugs can get in as well. And that's kind of what happens to your gut lining when you don't have good gut health. And so everything that you don't want in your blood gets in, and that causes inflammation.
Oh, okay.
And it causes inflammation everywhere, your brain, your body, which is what is causing all the diseases, like things like diabetes, cardiac disease, cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's. All of that can be very intimately linked to gut health.
Okay. And so your information kind of goes over that in your.
In what?
Do you like make appointments for people to come to you, or do you discuss that even?
I do. I will go ahead and pop a link under this too. I'm happy to get on a free call so that we can talk about kind of what resources I have to offer. I do have some different resources of programs that I do that focus on gut health and getting your gut into good working order, which I think everybody could use more of.